Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Siyat coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give our praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akim across this world who are spreading this knowledge and truth and this sincerity. And Shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. God Shalom. So yeah, man, as you can see in the title, it says milk. And I want to make a video about this. I was thinking about, hey, what can I make a video about? And then I was like, hey, I should not be making it too hard, Just keep it basic, keep it simple, milk. Because what is milk, man? Milk is something that you give to babies when they are newborn, They have need of that milk in the first place to go stronger, bigger, before they are able to eat bigger foods, like vegetables or fruits, you name it. But first, when they are newborn, they don't even have teeth, They don't even have teeth yet, so how are they going to chew on anything? Okay, so they get that milk from the mother, that breast milk, okay, which contains the nutrients that they need to survive. You see, and in some cases, the mother might not have necessarily have enough milk, so they might make, that milk from the factory. But the best is to get a milk from the mother, getting weaned from the breast. You see, so vice versa in this truth. When you are new into this truth, you're like a baby, so you have need of milk, meaning you have need of scriptures that are not too deep and not too hard for you, and breakdowns that are not too hard for you to understand in the beginning. Like the name of the Most High, that is very important. That is a basic thing to know. Okay? The name of the Most High is Yahweh. The name of his son is Yahweh Shai. Okay? We call upon Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. So in the Hebrew language, we say Yahweh, Bahasham, which means in the name of Yahweh Shai. Okay, that is something that you need to learn when you come into this truth, new. Okay, other thing that we teach you is the chip. Okay, the MOTB, the mark of the beast, which is spoken about in Revelation 13 verse 16, because this device is going to be made mandatory, and you're not going to be able to buy or sell anything unless you have this device implanted in your skin, under your skin, So you can already see around you, man, that the society is going towards this goal, of everybody receiving this device under their skin. Okay, we're teaching you about war. Okay, World War III is gonna happen. Okay, we're teaching you about who the real Israelites are. Those are basics. That is milk. Okay, who are the real Israelites? The so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans. And the ones that might not necessarily look like one of these people, but still on the bloodline side of their father, they still are part of one. They still are part of one of these, one of the nations of the tribes of Israel. Like a basic thing to know when we speak about Hebrew Israelites. People will be like, "Hey, what is that, man? Hebrew Israelites?" Well, we spoke Hebrew, and we come literally from the man named Israel. The man named Israel, his name first was Jacob, but he wrestled with an angel, and then his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. Okay, Jacob in the Hebrew is Yaquab, meaning supplanter, and Israel in the Hebrew is Yashar Allah, which Yah means he, Shar means prince, and Allah means a power or God. So he is a prince of God. Okay, not like these Muslims. We don't believe in that Allah, God of theirs, but Allah is just a Hebrew word meaning God. Okay, which means power. But something like that, knowing that you are an Israelite, if you literally come from the man named Israel, from his bloodline, from his seed. Okay, because he had 12 sons, whereof consist the 12 tribes of Israel. And actually, from his son Joseph, he had Ephraim and Manasseh, and they are a part of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And every tribe has their certain characteristics. Like you have the tribe of Judah, which are the so-called American Negroes. Okay, they are the head tribe of our nation, the chief tribe, so to say. You have the Levites, which were the priests. Okay, those are mainly the people from Haiti, the Haitians. That's because a priest is constantly busy with sacrifices and spiritual things. So the Haitians, they are now the Levites mostly. Okay, and that's why Haitians, they often busy with voodoo because they're often busy with spiritual things. But nowadays, a lot of them are doing it on the left hand side, the wickedness. Okay, worshiping demons and things. Okay, then you have Benjamin, which is the West Indians, people from Jamaica, for example. Okay, those are the ones that are from the tribe of Benjamin, Banyamyan. And when you read Genesis chapter 49, it speaks about Benjamin shall raven as a wolf. That's why you see Jamaicans, for example, always in their songs speaking about burn Babylon, fuck America, this, that, and the third. They are ravening. They are like a wolf speaking out loud. They're howling. Okay, they're crying out loud, letting themselves be known. They like their beard to be rough, their hair to be rough. Okay, and what do wolves do after they howl? They come together to hunt. After wolf howls, most of the cases, if I'm correct, they go to hunt. So right now, Benjamin, Banyamyan, West Indians, they are howling because the hunt is gonna come. Yahushua is gonna come soon. You know, so I might be messing the breakdown a bit up, but I made a previous video about Genesis chapter 49, okay, concerning also the tribe of Benjamin. Then you have the other tribes, okay. You have Ephraim, which is the Puerto Ricans, okay. They are the head tribe of the northern kingdom because you have Israel. It was divided in two kingdoms, the northern and the southern kingdom. So the southern kingdom consisting of Judah and Benjamin and Levi. The head tribe of the southern kingdom was Judah. And then you had the northern kingdom, which had the head tribe Ephraim, Puerto Ricans. So they are gonna come together, Ephraim, Judah, if I'm correct, and then we are gonna, basically, fight against, also, basically be united again to come against these heathens that look down upon us everywhere we go. Okay, so in the kingdom, we all gonna be in unity, all the Israelites. Okay, so now you see the friction between our tribes, man. Okay, Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, which are actually from the tribe of Issachar, they have beef with Judah, so-called American Negroes. Okay, so all that envy, all that strife is gonna stop in the kingdom, man. So you have many more tribes, man. Asher, which are the Brazilians. You have Naphtali. You have Zebulon. Which, if I'm correct, are the people from Guatemala. You know, you have did I say Naphtali? Yeah, they are from Argentina and from Chile, etc. If I'm correct, but we have a 12 tribe chart, so you can see which tribes are what. So these are things that is milk. These are basics that you learn when you get new into this truth, man. Okay, so let me read a few scriptures here. It says, First Peter 2:2, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. Okay, so you need to be as a baby, and you have to have desire for milk of the word, which are the basics of these scriptures. And then you're gonna grow, and when you're grown, once you have been a few years in this truth, you start to develop your senses, and then you might be getting ready, to, instead of only consume milk, now you might consume a bit of cucumber or broccoli, whatever, man. And bit by bit you might be able to consume meat, because when we jump to Hebrews chapter 5 verse 12, it's gonna Hebrews chapter 5 is gonna say that strong meat belong to the elder people, basically, like the ones that have been in this truth way longer than us. So if you are new to this truth, don't get demotivated like, hey, I want to know all these things, but I don't know the answer to these questions yet. Hey, am I ever gonna know this, that, and the third? It takes study, man. Otherwise, if you wouldn't, have to learn for it, it would be easy, that you would know everything from the get go. It's not gonna work like that, You have to study to show yourself approved. You have to study to get the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding of the scriptures. Okay, so Hebrews 5:12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High. So if you think you want to be a teacher, you need one that teaches you. Okay, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. Okay, milk basics, not strong meat deep breakdowns. Okay, like the book of Revelation is quite deep, so I suggest you don't start with learning breakdowns of Revelation, but for example, learning a bit more about Yahushua, learning a bit more about prophecies, learning a bit more about who the Israelites are. Okay, learning a bit more about the kingdom, and then maybe, I would think a level above that would be learning about the chariots, because so-called UFOs are actually chariots, which are spaceships or the vehicles of the angels. So oftentimes we don't really see that in the beginning when somebody is new, because they might be like, huh? They might rock their world. But once somebody understands it a bit more, you can, once you see that somebody digests the truth good, then you can maybe explain them these things, because not everybody is gonna be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Some people might be like, huh? Nah, you gotta be kidding, man. When you speak about the chariots. So it's levels also. Um, so it says here, for everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness. You see? So if you're still at the stage of eating milk, your knowledge is still basic, you're still unskillful, man. For he is a babe, but strong meat belong to them that are of full age, man. The ones that are of full age, meaning longer in this truth, because the longer you are in this truth, the older you are. You might be in the world 50 years old. You have been living 50 years on this planet Earth, and you might be 2 years in this truth. You might have a person that is 20 years old and has been 4 years in this truth. The one that is 4 years in this truth is actually more of age than the one that is 2 years in this truth, even though their actual age is a big difference in the world. The years in this truth, the time in this truth, that is what counts actually. So a meat, you're not gonna give a baby meat. How is he gonna chew on a big piece of steak or pasta? How is he gonna eat those things if you don't have a teeth? Okay, it makes no sense. But a grown person has teeth. He can chew on it. Chew everything off it. Digest it really, really good. And after that meal, a few hours later, he might take the same meal again. In a way, a baby can consume all of that. When a baby is newborn, they might, maybe drink like 10 or 15 or 20 milliliters of milk. You know how little that is. So when somebody is new to this truth, we cannot expect them to get everything at the same time, all the breakdowns that we explain to you. You might explain a lot of things to you, and only a small thing gets stuck in your head, but the seed is already planted. So it takes time, man. Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. Okay, so hey man, like I said, didn't want to make a hard video. That's why I just made the video concerning milk and named the title Milk. Okay, because sometimes it's very important to just take a step to the beginning and to the basics, to the milk. You know, like I said about the tribes, you also have the tribe of Manasseh, which are the Cubans this day. You have the tribe of Gad, which are the Native Americans. Okay, but the Israelites are spread across the whole earth, man. Okay, one of the things that you need to know when you come into this truth is Deuteronomy 28. About the curses, for example, as we have been into slavery, and have curses upon our people. And if we listen, we're gonna have blessings. Just simple, basic things, man. Don't make it too hard for yourself, and don't seek out things that are too hard for you to understand. Also, don't be asking like where does God come from and things like that. Don't be asking like where does God come from and things like that. You're gonna break your head, man. You don't know that. Come on. So don't keep yourself busy with it. Anyway, what was edifying? Want to give all praises and highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakadash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. Kan shalom.